Thank you for viewing this video on how to complete an income and expense declaration, also known as an I&E. Before continuing, please pause this video and read the notice regarding information contained in the income and expense declarations and other required documents. Starting on the top left box titled Attorney or Party Without Attorney, fill in your full name, address, and telephone number. Section 1 of the I&E is titled Employment. For lines A through H, give information on your current employment. If unemployed, use the information from your last employments to complete lines A through H. Each line must be completed. If you have multiple employers, attach an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper and list the information for lines A through H as you did with your first employer. At the top of the additional page, write Question 1, Other Jobs. Section 2 of the I&E asks for your age and education. Complete lines A through E and do not leave any lines blank. If any lines in the I&E do not apply to you, you can enter 0 or NA. Section 3 of the I&E asks for your tax information. Complete lines A through D based on the information in your most recent tax filing or based on how you intend to file. Again, do not leave any lines blank. Section 4 of the I&E asks for the other party's income. If you know the other party's gross monthly income, enter that information. Otherwise, give your best estimate. Be sure to explain how you know this information to be true or what your estimate was based on. In this section, you are also asked to state the number of pages attached to the I&E, if any. The final portion of Section 4 requires you to date, print your name, and sign your name under penalty of perjury. You may want to wait until you have completed the entire I&E before dating and signing. Sections 5 through 9 of the I&E ask about your income. Be sure to complete each line in each section. Salaries, bonuses, and overtime should be calculated separately. Sections 5 through 7 have 2 columns per line. The first column asks for the amount you received last month, while the second asks for the monthly average. Both columns must be completed. Section 10 asks for deductions to your gross monthly income, such as union dues, medical insurance, and court-ordered child support. Again, answer each line. If the line does not apply to you, enter 0 or NA, whichever is appropriate. Section 11 asks about your assets, including cash, stocks, and property. This section only has 3 lines. Remember to enter NA or 0 as appropriate. Section 12 asks for the name, age, relationship, gross monthly income of the people that live with you. It also asks if any of these individuals contribute to the household expenses. If you live alone, use NA to complete this section. Section 13 is for you to enter your average monthly expenses for the items listed on lines A through Q. On line R, add the total expenses from lines A through Q, except for lines A1A and A1B. Line S is where you enter the amount of your total expenses that is paid by others. Section 14 is where you will list installment payments and the debts not listed above. This is where you would enter items such as credit cards and car payments. Section 15 asks for attorney fees. If you have an attorney, complete lines A through D. Otherwise, enter 0 or NA, whichever is appropriate. If you are represented by an attorney, your attorney would date, print their name, and sign here. Page 4 of the INE is where you will enter information about your child or children. Section 16 asks for the number of minor children you have with the other parent in this case, along with the percentage of time they are with you and the other parent. Complete lines A and B for these questions. If unsure about the percentage, please write a brief explanation of your current parenting schedule. Section 17 asks about children's healthcare expenses. Complete lines A through D with the appropriate information. Otherwise, enter NA or 0 as appropriate. Section 18 is titled Additional Expenses for the Children in this case. Review lines A through D and complete them appropriately. Section 19 is for special hardships that you want the court to consider when establishing child support. If completing this section, be sure to explain why the additional expenses create an extreme financial hardship. If none, complete with 0 or NA. Section 20 is for you to provide other information you would like the court to know when considering your monthly child support obligation or entitlement. If you need to attach an additional page, remember to attach an 8.5 by 11-inch sheet of paper and write the question number before your answer. Before turning in your INE, please be sure that you attach copies of your last 2 months' worth of pay stubs. If you are self-employed, attach a profit and loss statement for the last 2 years or a Schedule C from your last federal tax return. Be advised, not all figures you entered on the INE are used in the California Guideline Calculator to calculate your monthly child support obligation or entitlement. Finally, double-check to make sure there are no blank spaces or lines. If so, enter 0 or NA, whichever is appropriate. If you need more space to answer any questions on this form, attach an 8.5-inch by 11 sheet of paper and write the question number before your answer. Your INE may be returned if it is not complete.